too far gone, never gonna sit and listen. This is optimism mixed with the best. You get it? What you're seeing is a beast in the flesh. I'm vetted up. I don't need to try to speak for the...
Well, hello out there, great minds of lands. Welcome to the MCU'S Bleeding Edge. We are live Friday night, December 1st, 2023. We are here tonight to discuss the 1998 film, The Truman Show. So for all those Jim Carrey fans out there, come on down, come in the chat, come on down and talk about some Jim Carrey Truman Show. So, Truman Show is definitely a very mixed film. It has comedy to it, but at the same time, it's very dramatic. And at the same time, it's kind of got a whole bunch of different ideas behind it. A lot of people have really picked at this film and got into thought processes of what they feel this film exudes. And it's pretty interesting, just what a lot of people have said about this film. So, of course, joining me on the panel tonight is Mr. Andreas from the Pop Culture Guide podcast. Good evening, Andreas. How are you doing?
Pretty good. Excited to talk about this movie.
Excellent, excellent. And, of course, as always, we have TrueKnowledge in the house. He's currently busy right this second. He just got back from the massage parlor. He was just talking about how everyone at the massage parlor place was talking about his shirt and how, how interesting his shirt was and how true the shirt is. So he'll have to tell you about that when he gets back. As you can see, he's not in the seat right at this moment, but he'll be back shortly. But anyway, so yes, The Truman Show came out on June 8th of 1998. Did have a premiere in Los Angeles June 1st of 1998. Was kind of considered Jim Carrey's first dramatic role. He specifically said that he decided to do this film so that he wouldn't be typecasted for just comedy films. He wanted to do something a little more dramatic. But at the same time, there's still a great comedic element to this film. But you do see a lot more of a dramatic side by him in this film. And I was mentioning earlier to somebody how I felt like from the late 90s through the mid 2000s, Jim Carrey did a lot of dramatic roles and didn't really do a lot of comedic roles around that period of time. So like from 1998 to 2007-ish, around that time, he did like at least 4 or 5 different dramatic roles, which all of them varied, in dramaticness and like with a little bit of comedy in them. Some of them were very dramatic. And we got to see a lot of kind of different side of Jim Carrey himself. So I think it was really cool. How that span happened where he did that, giving us a little break from his comedic prowess that he was so popular from 1994 through 1998. So this movie was made on a budget of $60 million, and of course ended up making $264 million in the box office. So it made a lot of profit for this film. This was directed by Peter Ware. He is a very prolific, awesome director. He's directed a lot of different things. And, this was probably, I think, one of his more comedic choices that he's actually directed. So I thought it was kind of interesting that, he decided to go this route. Because Jim Carrey, I feel, was kind of like their first choice for playing Truman. But a lot of the other actors, there was quite a few of them that were second choices or came in after a previous actor had left. So I think that, this film has a really decent cast anyways. But welcome, Mr. TrueKnowledge yourself. How was the massage parlor, sir?
It was good, sir. It was good. I had to, real quick, I just had to do my penis pump session before I came on the show, right? I got to try to increase that length, baby. You know what I'm saying? When you're working with that baby penis I got.
Well, as I was mentioning while we were waiting for you to return, I was mentioning how everyone at the massage parlor loved your shirt because how accurate it is in reality.
Yes.
You want to talk about that?
You're right. It's the massage parlor chicks that can't speak English anyway somehow become profound with their vocabulary because they're like, you very accurate with shirt and penis. You know what I'm saying? Very tiny. We laugh in back room together when we do laundry. about your penis. Very tiny, like a baby. Yeah, that's what the chick told me.
Oh, jeez. That's it. See, everyone told you he'd have a great story for you guys.
I get my massage. She's talking shit to me and whatnot about my baby dick and everything and whatnot. I'm like, hey, man, what's up? Let's do it.
Yeah.
Like, wait till I pull that bitch out.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, I'm sure they all were shocked.
Andres.
In a good way.
I would bet you $100. I would give you $100 to go out one night in public like me. Because Cyber knows I go right out like this. I don't give a fuck. Right? Like, I've even learned my lesson and whatnot. Because one time I went out, when I went out to hang out with Mark Rutledge at that concert to see Shinedown and Papa Roach Cyber, I wore my t-shirt that says just the tip. Right? And come on now, y'all. Andres, you know what that means, right, bro? In 2077, does just the tip still mean sexual stuff, or is that a scientific thing now? Anyway, no. I was wearing my just a tip t-shirt, and in front of me there was a married couple, and I kept wondering why we were getting along with everybody around us, but the married couple in front of us, the chick was like having a problem with Mark. Like I'm standing, fucking rocking and head naked and shit. I don't give a fuck. I'm drunk, right? And wonder why is this bitch talking shit to Mark? Because Mark's sitting there talking to her, and she's all pissed off. I don't know what they were doing, but finally the dude that was with him stiffened up in his seat. I watched him. He spined up, like popped his chest out and shit and whatnot and everything. And I went, my whole shit lit up. I went into action. I came to attention, and like I asked Mark later on, I'm like, Mark, did you see me fucking check that dude real quick and whatnot and get prepped? Just in case I had to fucking rock him real quick. He's like, yeah, dude. I was scared shitless the whole fucking time wondering when you were just going to attack him or if you were just going to hit him or something. There you go, folks. That my rep gets out, right? There you go. You gotta love it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I should be proud of that, but, Mark was worried about the guy. He was worried about what I was going to do to him. Just like, you know what I'm saying? Because I stiffened up, bruh. Like, let's do it. Let's get it, baby. I didn't know what was even happening. Everybody was loving us, but them people, I guess, you know what it was, bruh? Cyber, the girl didn't like the t-shirt, man. Or the dude didn't like it. Cyber wife would love it. She'd be like, Jeff, I love that t-shirt when you wear that shit. It's hot. Does Cyber wife think I'm funny?
Yes. Yes.
I've always often wondered that if she actually finds me humorous or not.
Yes.
I've heard her laugh before in the background.
Yep, she's laughing at you.
Yeah, that usually is. At me or any of the things I say actually make her laugh too.
Just everything you say, sir.
Do you tell her about all my crazy shit?
Like what kind of crazy shit?
The crazy shit that's like not like you can't the shit that you can't share with anybody because it's like me and Cyber.
No.
No, I mean the other just regular.
Regular stuff I've talked about. Yeah,
the massage parlor shit, everything and whatnot. The picture I sent to Andres when I went the first time.
Yep.
Andres, what'd you think of that picture, man?
Just you and your life.
Did you know what it was?
Yeah, I know what it was. So yeah,
there you go.
I know opinion.
It was just a bed in the room. So there you go. That's how you know it's the massage.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. I think you're just lying.
That's all there was in the picture was a fucking bed in the room, baby. That's a Tyrone Biggins fucking massage parlor I go to. It's very stripped down.
All right, guys. Okay. Shout out to Raymond in the comments. What's up, Booze and Chill, Raymond? How we doing, sir? We are live and two. Glad you just finished your live. They came on over to say hi. Cheers to you too, man. Yes. True Knowledge of Space is crazy, most definitely, because that is Jeff to the T.
What did I do? Is something wrong? Do I have a booger like hanging on my nose or something? What happened? There, Raymond.
Yeah, I don't know, Raymond. Yeah.
Did I take my glasses off and I'm ugly now? Oh man, everybody hates me tonight. Thank you, Raymond. Raymond's gonna come on, folks, with us and do Ant-Man and the Wasp, Ant-Man 2 next week.
Awesome. All right, guys. So Truman Show. So let's just go around the panel and get your thoughts. Now, just kind of go around. We'll start with you, Andres. And when was the last time you watched it? Last time you watched it, And how would you compare it to the last time you watched it or your first time you watched it? Has anything changed since you last saw it? Was there anything new you might have noticed, or just have your thoughts on the movie changed at all? Go ahead.
Yeah, sure. I so to be honest, this is my first time watching the film fully. I've seen the film before, but it was just always bits and pieces in TV. I like the two that I remember was the interview with Ed Helms' character, Mr. Mike, or Mike, or whatever his name is, and then the ending, which if you know what's the ending is very cool. But this time I had finally had a chance to watch this properly, and I was blown away. It's a great film. I mean, it's this is definitely the top 5 Jim Carrey films. But I have something else that's personal for me for a Jim Carrey movie. That's Eternal Sunshine as well as mine. But anyway, I thought this was a great viewing. Nothing. I don't think I had changed. I thought this movie was great, as people say. Just like Cyber with The Godfather. It lived its expectations after I saw the full movie. So, yeah, very good.
Excellent. Thank you, sir. Jeff, sir. Same question, sir. When was the last time you watched it? Has your thoughts on it changed at all since the last time you watched it compared to when you just recently watched it? Or how did you feel when the first time, like the very first time you watched it compared to watching it recently?
Today. Never saw it.
First time.
Yep. Never saw it.
Okay.
Picked up pieces back in the day when I had cable at HBO, right? When it came out back in the day. Because remember, it came out in 98. So that would have been my teenage years, high school, whatnot, my sophomore year. And I've talked about it. As that's when I watched a lot of TV. A lot of movies was when I consumed a lot of, guys know from the reviews. A lot of times when we review movies from the 2000s, 90s, 80s, whatever, I watched them all right there in the 90s and early 2000s. That's the last time I've seen them. That's a concurrent theme, right? So there you go. I never watched the Truman Show because again, I like Jim Carrey, but the stuff he was coming off of before the Truman Show didn't do shit for me, right? And like at that point, when I saw the trailer and whatnot, everything, it did not look like my deal. It wasn't comedy, right? I didn't like it. It didn't do nothing for me. Back then, I only fell into artsy shit or whatever, whatnot, right? Or like niche type of films, whatnot. If I just fell into one because there was a certain actor or actress in it, or it had a lot of buzz, right? Or whatever caught my attention. Otherwise, like I didn't know how good of an actor Ed Harris was back then, right? I had no clue. I didn't know his catalog of like what he'd done and whatnot. I had no idea. I didn't know the whole. I hadn't seen all of his films. I hadn't seen a lot of his older films. I really, other than the Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind, I haven't really been fond of Jim Carrey in serious films at all. But Cyber, if it's okay with you, I actually was thinking that for Andres and myself, since Andres loves Eternal, Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, if it's okay with you, I'll switch the cable guy out for that. That's Friday. I love that film. It's my favorite Jim Carrey movie. I think it's his best serious film he ever did. And I think it's like a top 10 for me of my all-time favorite films. I love it. What do you think? You want to switch it up for cable guy?
If you want, it's your choice.
Okay, I love that film. You like it?
Yeah, I love it. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
I think the dynamic between him and that actress and whatnot that plays the the main female character or whatever. I forget her name.
Winslet.
Kate Winslet, yeah.
She's
She's in her best. She's really like in a different kind of role than usual, different kind of character as a woman, and kills it. And they're really good together in that film. And the whole concept of it is awesome. But as far as the Truman Show goes, as far as my first watch goes, I really couldn't figure out what the message was of the film, right? Like what they were trying to overarchingly give us in the audience as an audience member, like what the the messaging was out of it, right? Like it wasn't funny at all, right? It wasn't emotional at all. Like, I'm saying, there was nothing about it at all that was gripping or like sad or anything like that to me and whatnot, right? At all. The only thing I found interesting about it was the concept, right? That and the fact that there are some good secondary characters in it. What's her name? Tunny, isn't it? The actress, right?
Laura Linney.
Laura Linney, isn't it? Yes. Before she really took off, kind of like really, pulled off some smash, like, roles and whatnot, everything here in this film.
Well, she was in Primal Fear before that, so
was
what really launched her career.
No, I know that, but I'm saying, wasn't she really? What was that film that she did? I'll pull up her filmography, but what was that film she did? With Kevin Spacey, where
Life with David Gale.
Yeah, that really that sprung her from a standpoint.
Primal Fear did it first. That was just kind of a cherry on the top.
Yes, from an artistic standpoint, right? Because David Gale wasn't exactly like a box office smash. It was sort of.
No, it was not. Yeah.
Right. I just saw that titty shot with her.
It's a good movie, though. It was considered a good movie, like it got a cult following after it came out. But financially and like theatrically, it wasn't a huge hit. But yeah, it definitely that showed her artistic talent as well.
Back in the day, when I just caught it on HBO or whatever, whatnot, or Cinemax or whatever, whatnot, after I got done with my Cinemax movie, even back then, I could sort of grasp and recognize that she was very talented as an actress, right? In that movie, I was like, at that level, for whatever level you're at then, and your radar of what's good and what's bad, I could tell that she was like an elite actress, right? That she could really had range and whatnot, right? Even back then, I could remember thinking to myself, because I just came across it, and then it became like a rotational film for me for a while. The Life of David Gale, and of course, Kevin Spacey was killing it back then. So if he was in something, like, you watched it. But no, she has nice tits, man. She's one of them chicks, right, guys? Where, right, like, they're good looking, but you don't realize how big their titties are until you see them naked, right? And then you're like, holy fuck, right? Like, you got some big titties. She's got some big titties, but you never know it. She keeps them all contained and shit. So there you go.
There you go, people. Thank you. All right. So.
Right.
All right. So basically, this movie is kind of like three different parts. There's kind of the beginning, there's a middle section, and then there's the ending, which each have a very distinct kind of thought process between them. Basically, the beginning of the film, starts off with introducing some of the people that are part of the show, and we kind of there starts to happen things that give, kind of Truman an idea that there's something different going on that isn't what's supposed to be happening. Like, why is this happening? Why is this happening? Then kind of the middle section a little bit talks about, kind of gives you an idea of like him starting to really research into it, figure things out, start going kind of like a stir crazy kind of, going out, into the crazy town, people thinking he's becoming psycho, and then you kind of have your conclusion. So the first section of the film, basically leading up to kind of the first time Truman starts to go in search of answers, is basically what we're going to talk about here, where he starts to follow Laura Linney's character to work, is basically kind of the first section, I would say, of the film. And throughout that first section, we get kind of introduced to his supposed childhood best friend. We see him kind of interact with different things that go wrong on the set that he doesn't figure out what's going on here, like the light falling down, the rain just pouring just on him in that one spot, and kind of him having kind of these revelations of the past girl he was that he kind of fell in love with, and her not, her all of a sudden disappearing out of nowhere, but him still having the memory, but can't find her through anything. We see him call on the phone asking, is there a blah, blah, blah? Is there this blah, blah, blah person? And we see him taking the different pictures out of the books, the magazines of like Cosmo and stuff like that, trying to piece together to make a collage of who he remembers this girl looking like. And of course, we have kind of that great scene that shows kind of a backstory of Ella McPherson's character, and showing kind of what happened while he's reminiscing looking at the sweater. And so you have kind of like all these things kind of happening between this section here. Basically him kind of not really looking into anything, but at the same time, he's kind of skeptical, and you get all these crazy things happening in what's going on. And throughout this whole section too, as well, you have kind of like all these other side characters coming in that you're being introduced to, like Holland Taylor, this homeless guy that supposedly looks just like his dad that drowned, and all this kind of stuff. So we have all this kind of really fun, process going on. And we also have kind of the great kind of glimpses of people that are watching the show, kind of their thought process, they're watching it too as well in this section of the film. So basically, to ask a question, what were you guys' thoughts kind of on that beginning of the film, leading up to Jim Carrey's character Truman starting to follow Laura Linney's character, his wife, to the hospital? What were your thoughts kind of like on that beginning, the backstory, all the different items falling from the sky and all the different things happening that he thinks that they're odd, and kind of just like, how do you feel Jim Carrey did in that process of kind of, from being the comedy king to being like one of his first dramatic roles? How did you feel he did kind of like beginning of the movie? And do you think he did a good job and all that kind of good stuff? I'll start with you, Jeff, this time.
Oh, me, man, first? Come on,
Yeah.
man. You always go to Andres first. Jesus Christ. Now you're breaking up the whole patterns and shit of the show and all that. Jesus. I'm telling you, Raymond. You wonder why I drink so much. Now you see, no, Time Cop, man. It's very fucking stressful working with Time Cop on a regular basis. See something else. It's all the time traveling and whatnot, right? I mean, it takes a toll on his. He's different people. He's like a different Andres, some shows, other shows. You never know. Then he says "fuck you" to me here and there, whatnot, out of nowhere and shit, and like makes me feel bad and shit inside.
Oh my god!
Because I mean, when Andre says "fuck you" to it, really hurts your feelings, right? It's intense. You're like, oh man, fuck, I'm hurting now. My heart's broken.
My god, he's such a baby. So dramatic.
Like Andre's the pop culture guy said "fuck you" to me, my life's over. Anyway, I don't know. Honestly, Cyber, I thought that it was dope seeing Jim Carrey so youthful looking, especially with the haircut they gave him and whatnot. Right, that kind of bowl cut, right? Like with my hair when I bring it my bags down, but he looked young. Like seriously, dude, like he could have passed as like fucking 25, right, or 24. Like seriously, he looked youthful as shit. I don't know how much of that was makeup and lighting and what I'm saying, the haircut and whatnot, right? Because your hair and the style of your hair can really affect your face and like your youthful, how youthful you look. But he looked very youthful. Again, this is 98. So he wasn't that old anyway. But I don't know. I mean, he did a great job at that. I'll give him credit. He did a great job of pulling off a character that's oblivious, right, to a life circumstance where it makes no logical sense that any corporation or TV production company or whatnot, everything could be able to cover every fucking possible angle, like right on Earth, to where they could isolate a person like that and have them not realize how naturally unlike normal, you know what I'm saying, like weird, so many aspects of what he encounters, right, daily, and like his whole entire life. It just makes no sense, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even getting into the fact that they own him and shit and whatnot as a corporation and all that crap. He's a human being. That's slavery, right? Like seriously, like that would never fly. The Montreal Human Rights Council would step in, right, with all their thunder, right, and like fight for him and whatnot, just like they fought for that person up in fucking Canada that refused to wash their hands at McDonald's, so they got fired, and so they sued McDonald's, and the human tribunal bullshit sided with him and gave him a bunch of money because the motherfucker wouldn't wash their hands, so they were Muslim. Makes a lot of sense, right? Why'd you go to work at McDonald's? There you go. Anyways, bottom line, that's what I think of Canada and their court system. They actually took that case and sided with that person. I'm going to sue you because you're going to make me wash my hands before I fucking put a hamburger together for somebody to eat. I refuse to do it on religious grounds. Come on, baby. Anyways, no, I don't know. He did a great job selling it, but as I'm watching it, I'm thinking to myself, if this happened in real life. You know, again, for the time period, I understand reality TV was just coming in, right? Like it was new, a new concept. So they were way ahead of the game with this. If they would have made this film a decade later, I think it could have been a lot more poignant, right? Possibly. I'm not saying it would have done better financially. I'm saying it would have been more poignant because that at that point, reality TV was already like becoming like, you know, come on now, are you serious? That's how quick its shelf life was, or still is, in terms of its tangibility, or you know, drawing in an audience, a large audience. But no, I love the concept of the film from jump. I guess I find it befuddling that any human being would not naturally, on a biological, instinctive level, right, grasp that their setting in life like that, where they're controlled like to that level, they would allow that and not grasp that something was not right. Being able to not leave where you live because you're afraid to cross a bridge makes no sense.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. All right, Andre, same question, sir.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, this is fantastic. The opening was really great. I mean, the director, Pierre, well, where, I don't know how you say his last name. He's a great director. If you haven't, Weir, okay, Pierre Weir.
Yep.
If you guys,
what did Andre say? Walk.
You're so funny. You know that. You're so funny, sir. You're so funny. One more thing out of your mouth.
Oh gosh, wash it out now.
Anyway, I'm just joking with you, Jeff. You're a funny man. You're a funny man. No. If you guys haven't, Slippy in the Rock, you know him. You know this director. He directed Dead Poet Society. And you know, another great film, I seen really great Robert Williams film that's kind of similar, you know, like it's funny, but you know, it's a little bit more dramatic movie for Robert Williams. And this, you know, great direction. Right away, you know, you're like something's really off, like because of the like point of view of the camera. Like right away, you know, you're watching this character Truman in like a TV setting, which was kind of weird. And you know, Jim Carrey just sells it so well in this opening. Just him being this like very normal, you know, regular Joe, you know, doing the mundane life. But then slowly, you know, his world starts to kind of like ravel. But you know, before we get to like the character of Sylvie, you know, the girl that he liked, not his like wife he has, you know, that started the pattern of his whole world kind of changing. So like already he's already valuing that before that reveal. So it's really cool. Yeah, it's just very funny to see like, you know, these people like, what is it, those two twins like just hugging on Jim, character Truman, and it's like about some insurance or something like that. It was very funny. This whole sequence is just so well directed, and you can tell this, you know, what kind of movie we're gonna watch. Yeah, I agree with you, Jeff. This is like ahead of time, but it's such a timeless film movie. That's the thing. This movie does a good job compared to some of the '90s movies where, like, you have a really good score. You know, score by Philip Glass. Some of the contemporary like composers that do classic music like really adds the timeless feel to this film. Like it reminds me a lot of Pleasantville a little bit, you know, like with just because it's designed like that to like throw you off that, you know, you're not in this, you know, real world reality that Truman's living in. And so it really helps to write this feel, this timeless feel, which is great. But yeah, I mean, from that that light camera that you always see in the set dropping down, that's right away. Like I was like, okay, what's going on here? And you know, I already know what was the premise of Truman Show, but I was curious how Truman was going to react, and I think he reacted in the way that you expected. But yeah, his like when he starts like particularly what was it like he goes to the bank and when he sees the back the offset of people and their breaks, like it was very like, oh my god, like he's seeing that and it's like he was just shocked and like offset his mood right there. And then what was worse is that these people are like had conditioned him to be afraid of dogs, not allowing him to be an adventurer, which was kind of annoying, and losing his dad such a dramatic way, which I was like, oh my god, you're kidding me. So yeah, and then when he starts following Lord Leon's character, that's where the movie starts to pick up, and that's where I was like, oh my, this is so exciting, like this is incredible, and it's just incredible balance with the comedy and drama. They do a good job. Like one of the things I like about Jim Carrey's humor, it's not um like today's humor, like improvising or like that. Like it's very like he has this very great energy, like Charles Chaplin kind of comedy, slapstick, but in a good way, and that's always make Jim Carrey so great. And plus, he's like a living cartoon. Like he always move his face so cartoonish, which is great. That's why we love him in The Mask, and of course the Riddler and Batman Forever, and of course the Ventura movies. So yeah, this beginning is just so excellent, well directed, well scored by the various composers. So I'm very excited to get into some of the other stuff that was very intriguing.
Excellent. Thank you. Totally great concept there, guys. Yeah, very this film really is one of those films that you're just kind of like there's so much going on, but yet it's very played out very well. Like there's really nothing you miss. And if you have a hard time following films, I feel sometimes, when there's a lot of information, that can be hard for some people, and I understand that. And this film, I think, does a good job of kind of keeping it very simple, all the information, and painting a pretty decent picture. So, I mean, you basically have kind of that midsection of the film. We'll be getting into here, but there's so much at the beginning of that film that is so funny because I think a lot of those moments, like especially when Truman is gardening and it shows his ass right in the lens, which was absolutely hilarious, I think. And he looks back and Laura Linney's character is like, "You missed a spot." He's like, "Hmm," and I think it's super funny. But at the same time, I think there's a lot of heart that you know uh, that Jim Carrey put into this character of Truman and really showed that he has a very versatile acting about him, that he's just not a comedian. And I think that scene was one that really showed that, really proved that. And I think like that the sequence where we get into here that'll kind of starts off the middle with him doing the reminiscing about the past that happened with the girl that he's been trying to find. Uh, we kind of get that kind of sentimental value there, how he remembers the whole occurrence, like them flirting with each other while they're dancing at the dance, and how they end up going out to the beach that night and kissing, and she gets dragged off. Like all of that was really well constructed, and the fact that she does a good job of trying to tell him what's going on. You're like, it's that starts to find, it's like starts putting, from that point on, starts putting doubt into his mind. Like, is this really a reality? What am I missing? And then so all these things starting to happen. I think him reminiscing about that, it really does like start to like make him think like, what's going on here? Like all these crazy things are happening. There's more to them meets the eye that I'm understanding. He's thinking, So I think the first part of the film does a really good job of bringing that to light. All right, so the second part, like basically the middle part of the film, like I said before, is basically kind of the situation where Truman really starts questioning things and starts taking action into finding out what's going on. So basically, we have kind of the flashback sequence where it shows basically this woman that he's been looking for, kind of their interaction and how that guy was kind of his, like, first love interest before he ends up marrying Laura Linney's character. We get that kind of great sequence there where he looks at her sweater and he has this flashback, and it comes back to reality when he sees the thing again. Now, we kind of get some, some days where he goes to the office. We see him go to the office. He pretty much does the same thing every day. He says, if I don't see you now, good night, good day, good night, blah, blah, blah. He says that to pretty much anyone if he doesn't get to see them again. And we get to see him go to the office quite a few times throughout the film. He goes to the same newspaper guy every day to get a newspaper. And you start kind of getting a feeling here, like as he's doing this after kind of the situation, we see him kind of like testing this guy to see if he can get some information out of him because he feels like things aren't correct. Even when he gets to the office, he kind of does that too as well. He kind of brings that in. But really, as we progress, we really start having him start doing crazy things. We have him, after he kind of has a certain feeling with a situation, they always bring in his best friend to help calm him down, who is played by Noah Emmerich. And Noah Emmerich, if you don't know who he is, he's been in a whole bunch of movies. He's been a character actor for many years. He also is the younger brother of Toby Emmerich, who directed such films as Independence Day, all those kind of films and stuff like that. That's his younger brother. And every time they have that come in, and we have kind of these interesting sequences too that we kind of go through during this process. We get kind of him learning how he is afraid of water because of his dad drowning. We see him try to cross a bridge, and they stop him from crossing the bridge by bringing a big dog on it so he doesn't explore more and stuff like that. We get kind of all that information. We kind of get a little bit more insight into the people up top that are running the show. We get to see Paul Giamatti for the first time. We see more of Ed Harris, his character, and we get all this kind of cool kind of contributions to kind of who is running the show. I especially love when we start seeing the guy in the bathtub watching the show. I think that's absolutely freaking hilarious. And we see like these people at this like bar that everything says Truman Show on it, which is absolutely hilarious too. So you get all these kind of things, but really when it starts to kick off the investigating is when he finds out, when he's looking at a wedding photo, he notices that his wife's fingers are crossed in their wedding picture. And so the next morning he decides to, ask her about it. And, instead of, they get them getting conversation, she said, I got to get to leave because of this, blah, 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 and get into surgery. And so he follows her, and we see him follow her to the hospital. And he talks to one of the nurses there who is, told to send in to stop him from going in further. They talk, and then basically he ends up pretending to walk away, but then sneaks in. And we see him get to seeing where the triage is, and he's looking at the supposed surgery that's supposed to be going on. And you could definitely see, and he's seeing firsthand that these aren't real doctors, because the doctor himself is like, is shaking, going, yeah, so we're going to go down here and do this, and you can see that. And then all of a sudden the curtain gets drawn, and he's towed away by police. And then this is also the section where, basically he decides, let's go on a trip, honey, and let's go somewhere. I don't know where we're going to go, but let's just be spontaneous and go somewhere. And they start driving, and he starts taking them around in circles. And, he's like, I'm not sure which way I'm going to go. And they have going one way, and they pretend there's a nuclear waste drop to stop him from going further. And basically, they have that occurrence happen, and then he runs outside and tries to get in there, and they end up tackling him in the forest. And basically at this portion, like I said, when he starts trying to find out more and tries to really go into researching, it starts making him seem like he's having a mental breakdown, basically, is what they keep trying to do. And at this point, after he's brought home and arrested, he ends up having a one-on-one conversation with his best friend again. And they go out on that pier area where there's like a big piece of machinery that this supposed bridge has not been completed now, and I don't know how long. Which you think you would kind of question, like, that kind of seems accurate for construction people a little bit, actually, because it does sometimes take them forever. But they end up, sitting out there, and basically the friend tells them, "I would never lie to you, because if you think everyone's in on it, I'd have to be in on it," and like trying to make him be reassured that there's nothing wrong here and stuff like that. So we had that great moment, which once again, I think that really showed. It was another great scene that really showed how amazing of a dramatic actor Jim Carrey can be. He was fantastic in the scene. The expression on his face, the crying look, and all that was so done so well. And basically, up to that point, like that scene is pretty much that kind of the end of that portion of the film, of that middle section, kind of. So what I ask you guys, what were your thoughts on kind of that section of the film? What did you think of Carrie's performance? What did you think about Noah Emmerich's character, Laura Linney's character? What did you think? How did you feel about kind of how that played out and how Truman started to like get into things and try to figure things out? Did you enjoy it? Did you find it interesting? Kind of over the time, have you being your first time for both of you guys, really? What was your thoughts? Kind of like, was it what you were expecting to happen, and so forth and stuff like that? So, kind of just your thoughts all over that kind of section, and kind of what you came up, your conclusion of how you felt about it, and all that kind of good stuff. Starting with you, Andreas.
Yeah, I mean, this is the section that I really loved this film. Like, at the end of this section, it was really great. I mean, because as you say for Cyber, the kitchen scene where poor Jim Carrey, poor Truman cannot, like, he really desperately wants to get out of this town, and like he desires to like go around the world, as a regular person, and he's unable to do it. Well, forcefully, he cannot get out, for obviously reasons we know. And that scene is so tragic. It just that moment, you see Jim really doing his acting chops right there so well, being dramatic. For me, I already know he's a great actor. As we mentioned up, the Eternal Sunshine, or what was it, the Kaufman biography, The Man on the Moon, another great one that Jim was funny but also dramatic. But yeah, I thought that chasing was so funny, just doing that like loop over and like was just like, oh my god, he's just great. Like, that was pure Jim Carrey comedy there, and like it was so convenient. Like, I love how he is showing Lorraine's character how convenient that the bystanders are like going from the block, and like they're just doing like repeat sections, which was funny. And when the cars come around to like block them when he was going out, was so funny. It was like, oh my god, he's like so funny. But the other thing was the radio, when what was it? What are you doing?
I got a footrest and everything, man. This bitch is nasty.
You're funny.
That's my new gaming chair, dude. This shit is dope.
Nice pants, by the way. Nice pants, nice shoes.
Oh, you like my outfit?
Yeah, not bad. It's very gentlemanlike.
Gaming chair. Where's mine?
Andre. Oh, sorry, you do chair, brother?
Oh my god. Yeah.
I don't have a chair at all. This chair I'm sitting on is like the table chair, and it's like the most
come on.
freaking thing ever.
We'll talk. I had no idea. I didn't know. It didn't even occur to me that you didn't have a regular chair, like a chair.
Yeah.
I'm joking with you. What the?
Come on. Anyway, I got you.
Anyways,
I got you on a fucking chair, bro. I got you, bro. They're not that expensive, dude.
No,
anyways, go ahead, Andre. Go ahead. Andre.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Quickly, the camera. What was it? The radio. He always listens to the radio, right? And then the one part when the radio became like he actually heard the studio frequency, and that was so funny, and that really set him off. Like, oh my god, that was really creepy, and that was where it really set him up to his journey to like this is not it's something that really bothered him. And then he was trying to go to the bank, where I mentioned not to repeat too much, but like he goes to the bank, he saw backstage, which he should have seen, and he did, and that freaked him out even more. And yeah, so that was really great. The thing it was really cool from my reviewing was the seeing the character Sylvie. Very funny that her name is Sylvie.
Really, you're obsessed with the name Sylvia all of a sudden, man. What the fuck?
It's weird. This Truman Show have this character named Sylvie, and she's the one trying to break this society structure, just like the our Sylvie from Loki in TVA. It's funny. Anyway, so I didn't understand her role. Like I always saw the part when she gets interviewed with Anne Helm's character about freeing Truman, and I didn't understand the emotional connection of it until now. I was like, oh, okay, she was like an extra, and this Truman really developed some like actual emotion to this character, and not the main the main love interest that the show were pressing on him. And it was really sweet. And then of course it was like, of course the sweaty holes was like a mental from her night. So like that made a lot of sense now, particularly towards the end. It just made sense now in a very emotional connection to the story, which was good. And then she was right, because we question, like I always question why these people always do the reality TV shows, and it's like you're exposing your privacy and your world to a bunch of people, and in this case, in this way, it's the far extreme of he was adopted by the network and being filmed 24 hours a day, just to amuse people, of this regular Joe, is just really disturbing, but it's something that people do, and they want for money and all that. And poor Truman is just just a object really for this person. But yeah, so this whole sequence is really fun. It got me really loving this movie. I like the film, but watching full time, it's really great.
Thank you, sir. Fantastic. And just to kind of reiterate now, the flashback sequence. What did you think about that? Kind of a little bit before we move on to Mr. Jeff. What did you think about that flashback sequence in like Ellen McPherson or whatever? I forget what that actress' name actually is, but I think she was actually a model. But what did you think about that whole situation? Like them kind of flashbacking, showing that occurrence and stuff like that, and kind of like your overall thoughts on how that applied to the film.
What? No, Andres, before you go ahead, Cyber, the flashback you're talking about, are you talking about the one where he does go back and really heavily think about Sylvia? It's not Sylvia, it's Sylvia. Andres.
Sylvia, okay, thank you.
Is that the one you're talking about where he thinks about her?
Yeah, that's the only flashback he has in the movie.
Okay, all right. Go ahead, Andres. I apologize.
Oh no, my bad. No, I like the flashback. It tells, like, it gives us information that Truman is already like on to this idea that something's wrong in his world, and so seeing this flashback was important. But also, I really like the flashback because it plays up this like sitcom kind of flashback where you see a character flashing back in this very very corny and like kind of 60 kind of show way, and I really dug that. And it's live, like just live for the television like that. It's so clever, like meta commentary on like television in general, and like and in TV viewing. So I really dug the flashback. It's both important information to understand where Truman's head is at now, but also it's a good like reflection on television as a medium.
Excellent, thank you, sir. All right, Jeff, same question, sir. Basically from where Truman has the flashback up to when he has that conversation with his best friend on that pier before we get really into the finale of the film.
See, this is where really, like, again, Cyber, Andres, you know how I am. Like tomorrow, if you talk to me, right, I'll have like more like layered opinions and thoughts on the film, right? like a little bit more in depth type, you know what I mean? Like it'll hit me a little harder, right? You know what I'm saying? That's just how I am. But like just off cuff, I don't like it. Oh man, now I lost my camera because of fucking time cop again. Time cop, you motherfucker, man. You and your fucking time traveling fucking viruses and shit you pick up and whatnot and shit that fuck up my tech, my gear. It's bullshit, dude. Just as you're a time traveler and shit doesn't mean that us fucking like people living in 2023, it's okay just to like have my webcam not work because of like your presence, bitch. It's not right. All right. Not all of us can be a time cop. You know what I'm saying? So come on now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's not fair.
You fucking man. Fucking mute me.
And for some reason, I have Isabella's avatar. Like, and it's not even a good one. It's supposed to be Mikasa from Attack on Titan, the anime, and it doesn't even look like Mikasa at all. And I love Mikasa, right? Cyber and Andres know I love anime. I've just never been able to figure out how to cover it on the bleeding edge. How do you cover anime, right? Like, seriously, you got to be really good. It's very nichey, right? The people who do it are good at it. The ones that like talk about it and do good content are good at it. They're really good and very inventive. You got to be really good to make good anime content. I don't know how to. I wouldn't know how to do it. But I love anime. I'm telling you, this is really good. Naruto Shippuden is great. It's a fucking dope series. I'm telling you, folks. If you need something to go to sleep to, watch Naruto Shippuden. Seriously, or Attack on Titan. Attack on Titan is really good. But anyways, so all right, here's the deal. I don't get the gist of what this movie is supposed to give you. What is the message? What are they trying to do for you out of this? Like, what are we supposed to get out of it during this film? I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, it's not funny. I'm not feeling emotionally moved to any level at all by anything that's happening, right? It's not entertaining, right? To really all that heavily. It's not exciting. It's not mysterious. Everything's right there in front of you. There's no hidden shit. It's like, you know, so I'm just like, maybe this is just me, right? I mean, I love Jim Carrey. So like out of my own personal bias, I'll probably rate the film higher than I should just because Jim Carrey's in it. I'm not gonna lie about it. I probably will add like an extra point or whatever just for him, right? I respect the dude. He's made a lot of good movies, man. You know what I'm saying? In my childhood, he was really really big to me. He was like one of my favorite actors, like a huge actor to me. Somebody I thought was like massive when I was little. But anyways, no, a lot of it just doesn't not seem authentic. Like they're selling it to him in a way where he would not know how packaged some of this shit is. It's too fucking like robo dialogue, right? Like it makes no sense. If you, Cyber, Andres, you, or me ever were in a spot where we were virgins, right? Our own wives did not have sex with us, okay? Right? And like we had to fucking like jack off to like magazine shits we fucking pick like at work, like we rip out of magazines, pictures of chicks and whatnot, like and cough during it, whatnot, all this shit. That's weak, dude. That's a weak, like that's rough. If you met a chick that you liked that much back in the day, and you're still a virgin, right? And you don't even really dig your wife, you feel me? You'd be all about that first chick, right? Like you'd be consumed by her. Honestly, you would be. You'd be driven to go fucking see her and like fuck her, right? And like fucking get down with her. Like her, meet her, or whatever. Fuck her though, too, right? Of course. Come on now. That's always like got to be a part of her. As if you're a like a dude that's about his business and whatnot, that's always part of the element of fucking what's going down. Right? At some point in the whole fucking like outcome of the shit, whatever it is, whatever the context is, fucking is part of the equation, right? Unless you're a little bitch, then you don't fuck. There you go. Stay on Snapchat, motherfuckers. Anyways, but bottom line, like think about it. You'd be miserable if you were in a marriage that was sexless like that. Even innately, you would grasp that that's wrong. You're married and your wife don't suck your dick while you're out gardening and shit and whatnot and everything, right? And like working for the family and all that shit and whatnot. Don't get to go nowhere or do shit. You got one friend. That's no life, man. Like the movie makes no sense to me. It's not sellable. The whole point of it is that it's supposed to be a concept where, and this really flushes out, like him and his best friend. That's so not like sellable. That's so not believable on like a personal scale, on a personal level. Unless like I refuse to believe that a human being on its own would not grasp that like being talked to in a way where everything fits into like a scheme or a strategy, right? Like in every spot, you've always got an answer. There's no drama. And if it is, it's like the most fucking innate drama possible. Something was off innately. It doesn't matter who you are, where you were born, what's going on. You would know something was not right. Right? So I'm just saying, like, they could have done something different with this. They could have gone with like what they tried to do with Robin Williams there at the end for him, where he did some like hardcore psychological, like almost horror, like villain type shit. If they would have done something like that with Jim Carrey, right, with this film and made it like really serious, I'm not talking like Seven type level. I'm just saying if they would have made it like a psychological thriller where he like loses it because of this shit, right, and like does crazy shit. To what line, I don't know, but you get where I'm going with this, guys. If they did it like that, right, Jim Carrey could play that. I bet he could do that and pull that off well as an actor. Like that would work for him. He could play crazy, right, and not be silly or stupid like fucking him as the Riddler in the Batman movie with that spandex outfit. Anyways, I'll keep it. I'll cut it off right there. I don't think that this itself, like, I don't see how this is believable. The whole concept of the film is that you're watching a movie where it's a reality where people would believe it's okay to do this to someone, right? Other people would be willing to be paid to do this to people, to a person, to limit them in life to this level, right? It's degrading. It's dehumanizing. Like, literally, it's dehumanizing. To be married and not have sex with your wife? Nah, but like I was saying, main point. You, me, or Andre Cyber, in this context, this is what I was thinking of the movie. If we liked the chick from back in the day, we're still virgins and shit and whatnot, we would fucking cross that bridge, fight a bear and shit, fight a fucking kangaroo, right, and shit over in Australia with Matthew, right? Tag team with Matthew and fight a kangaroo to fucking hit that shit. You feel me?
Thank you. Very, very allegoric, sir. But yeah, I mean, that's the whole point of the movie. For those that don't get it, is that that's the point of it, is to show that, you can't control people. You can't do this to person and not think that this is right. The point of the film was to show that what you're doing, Ed Harris, is horrible, and that you're doing is wrong, and that you're enslaving a person, and that you've literally kept a person from knowing reality his whole entire life. So that is really kind of the point of it. Just like, Andres had mentioned in the private chat here, that the film is considered a simulated reality, surveillance, religion, metaphysical, privacy, reality television, film. And that's what kind of the whole premise of the film is, to show that you can't, this is not right, and that what happened to him is not right. And that's what the dramatic element is from.
But Cyber, they don't present anything at all in the beginning of the film at all in any way to the audience. I remember 1998 or now, that this is not just normal America, right? In current day or whatever, whatnot, right? They don't say anything or do anything to project, right, Andres, to you as in the audience, that we're in some sort of like quasi weird Earth version of Earth, where like, it's okay to like enslave a fucking human being and rob his ability to simply like travel on his own when he's done nothing wrong. He's broken no laws, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, you know what I'm saying? They didn't do anything to project to us. In fact, if anything, they talk about and like show off how like they evolved their recording and their camera equipment and whatnot and everything, and added more cameras and stuff over time during the span of the 30 years to catch up with like the evolution of like technology, right? So That's all I'm saying, Cyber. It's just that if they would have done a little bit of that more and like made it clear, like, hey, just to be clear, we're not trying to sell that this would happen with us tomorrow on Earth in America.
No, they didn't do that. They did it in a way that was very subtle. You got to know what they're talking about, understand it. It wasn't going to be, they're not going to be blatantly saying, hey, don't do this, people. That's not what they were trying to do. They were doing it subtly. That's what a movie is for, is they were showing you through subliminal imagery by showing the different people talking about watching the show, about the people talking about the documentary. It's subtle. It's not supposed to be like, oh, so by the way, this is really bad and this is really wrong. No, that's not how they presented it. And that's how 1998 was. Back in 1998, we didn't have all these frivolous, idiot, asshole people that didn't know what the fuck they're, that are all whiny bitches. They did it by subtlety. And that's what made this movie so fantastic, is that they did it in a way that you could understand if you know what you're looking for. But if you're a new person coming into the film, you might have a hard time understanding it because you're thinking of reality in our time frame now, in 2023, because it was so different back in 1998. So if you had watched this back in 98, give it, you would have had more of that mindset to understand the subtleness.
If I may,
I agree.
Real quick, Andres, one sentence. I get it, Cyber. You're right. That's all I was going to say. What you just said, that's all I was going to say. You got it right there. You knocked it out. If I would have saw it back then, I would have saw it in a totally different context. That's it. I'm done. Enough said.
I agree with Cyber as well. I think the movie doesn't clear the message for me as well. I mean, first up, we got two sides of it. I mean, Truman's the love interest that he likes the most is the argument that we have that is against the show. And we see that briefly when we see her again. And it's very subtle if you pay attention to her, her room and all that. And plus, I mean, you look at, what makes a best science fiction movie great is that you don't see the meta commentary yet until you rewatch it. And that's the thing I like about the Truman Show, is that it's very subtle. You're having this great time with this character, but then you're with the character of what's going on here. It's very weird. And then that's the point of the director and the screenplay for the most part. And it's interesting that you brought up that this could be a sexual thriller, but it was
It to be a sexual thriller. I said psychological, motherfucker. I'm not all like sex driven by you, Andres, you sex fiend.
I just did that too.
What's wrong with you, man? I'm a respectful man.
He's thinking about Angela Bassett.
Come on, dude. Don't you see my cross? I'm a Christian here. Like, seriously.
Wow.
Here's your morality, motherfucker.
Please. I'm a vampire. I don't need crosses here.
But now you're a fucking vampire. How many things can you possibly be, Andres? You got to stop at some point. Cyber, there must be a limit to this shit. You can't be a Highlander, a vampire, a time cop. It's not possible. Like, to have all. I mean, come on.
I think there's a high mental disorder rate in 2077. I think that's the problem, Jeff.
And what the fuck about you is like a vampire? Just to be clear, like, where are you even identified with vampire? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, seriously, Simon, I got to hear this shit. How are you a vampire?
It's top secret. I'll tell you later. Anyway,
oh my God,
I was supposed to say the original script was supposed to be more a science fiction thriller. And this was supposed to be with Brian De Palma directing it before Pierre took over. So it's very interesting you wanted this to be a psychological thriller.
Psychological.
Psychological.
Thank you, Andre.
Yeah. My bad with my spelling today. So, but no, I think this is very deep, like psychological, but in different way than your usual movies. And plus, it's blending genres of science fiction, psychological drama, social science fiction. It also has a dystopian feel to it, but it's just in a more realistic way, And so I think that you see that very well in this movie.
For real, talk about dystopia and fucking intense raw and shit, whatnot. Imagine a reality TV show where it's like people seeing a chick like going to give me head and see my baby dick for the first time.
Well, when we get to Helms, that's what he thinks.
Look, folks, this is not like a joke. This is my official T-shirt, like, because you know what I'm saying, I'm the president of the club for extremely fucking baby penis dudes, baby dick.
He doesn't want to forget. He doesn't want to forget to include their micro penises too.
Oh my god,
that's a part. That's a part of it
I
too.
can't wait to go out tonight with this T-shirt on. It's gonna be fucking awesome. I can't wait to see all the expressions of people's faces when I walk into the bar and shit. Whatnot. I wish I could record it. It's gonna be dope. Y'all would love it. Cyber's seen it. It's gonna be funny.
Well, yep. All right, thank you, gentlemen. Very good conversation. Very good back and forth. You know, we all have very different opinions the first time we see it. You know, it all comes to us as we watch it more and more. And that first time watching it, I remember thinking myself, I didn't understand it right at first either when I first saw it, even because I didn't see it when it first came out in '98. I saw it probably a few years later after it had been out on DVD at that point. So it definitely is one of those films that the more you watch it, the clearer it becomes. And at the same time, too, sometimes if you are in the now, you just understand it better anyway. So definitely watching it today for the first time in like forever. I remember thinking to myself, I'm like, wow, I forgot how much I enjoyed this, how much I enjoyed what went on with this and how the storyline was and just kind of the thought process. So I'm glad I decided to pick this one to rewatch because it's a very interesting film. All right. So basically that brings us kind of to the conclusion of this film. The third act of this film, I like to call it. Where we have quite a bit going on, which I find, very interesting. So basically, after we kind of have the conversation with his best friend there, and he like basically calms him down, we there you go, folks. Some artwork from.
Are you ready for you want to do our first round of Pictionary, Cyber?
Well, sure.
See that one?
I'm thinking, let's see here. It says crewmate. Says Andre,
come on, what is this? You come on, get on this. Look,
I'm thinking it's I'm thinking it's year 2099. President Jean-Claude Van Damme is fighting Supreme Chancellor Angela Bassett.
Andres, what do you see in here?
I think that's you and your little thing. Exposing this person that
more than that depiction right there.
Person that looks like me.
I wish my dick was that big.
Yeah, I think that's you, and thinking that you have a big, whatever you have under your pants. And
I blew that person. I blew that chick away with my penis. Like she fell down.
Yeah, and she's
like,
traumatized.
oh yeah, holy fuck, that's a big cock.
Yeah, traumatized. She's traumatized.
Cyber, do I give off big dick energy, bruh?
Nah,
bruh. Andres, you need to get a little bit more intuitive, dude.
Oh my god.
Come on, man. I did not knock that bitch out with dick. Right?
I don't know. I didn't say that. I think you traumatized this chick.
Well, look, I mean, she's down on the ground. That's a roundhouse John Claude Bloodsport Kumite kick to a motherfucker, right?
Oh, I don't think so.
That's a shout out to the year 2077 and President John Claude Van Damme.
Where are you seeing this woman too there, Andres? I'm only seeing two guys there.
For real? How does I had to ask Andres, Cyber, are you shocked at Andres' answer to that?
No, I'm not.
How is that me?
I don't know how that's you. No, I have no idea.
Like, seriously, there's no snap. What did I do to that chick?
I would say you haven't done anything.
Did I knock her out?
No,
apparently you must have.
I wish I could have knocked out that chick that cock blocked me at the bar last week. Whenever I told you guys about that, I wish I could have knocked her out, right? But unfortunately, I'm a decent fucking, trying to be a gentleman kind of guy and whatnot that respects women. So I can't fight a woman, unfortunately. I like the goddamn racist piece of shit. That maybe I might be able to fucking scrap her out. Then we'll see.
Oh right? My god!
Or she tries to take my bag of crack from me.
There you go. Yeah. So that, folks, is our report of Pictionary.
I got another one. One more.
Oh, please, no.
Here we go. What is it, y'all?
something related to Jeff. DG scare. It looks like a South Park character that his head is exploding.
I think I need to go to the to Phoenix University and whatnot and everything and enroll on a fucking drawing class. Along with my Tuscan fucking translating.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah.
What do you see, Andres?
Give me a guess. Give me a guess, Andre.
I'm not gonna do it. It's definitely you being experimental.
As an aside, I'll give you a hint. This is an aside. Not a accurate depiction of the titties in terms of size.
So this
So they can be bigger. In other words, they're big. See, big.
Okay. Okay.
It's Laura Linney.
Yes.
All
But
right.
what's on her head? What's on her head?
Hair?
Think David Gale. Think David Gale. What's on her head?
Oh. She is being suffocated by the bag.
Something I occasionally use when I'm hanging out in the dungeons and shit and whatnot, chicks and shit and whatnot. When I put it down, I fucking plastic bag their asses here and there, right? So I just want to test it to me too, right? On a personal level. There you go.
Okay. There you go, people.
There you go.
And there's the MCU edge, bleeding edge.
Hey.
First round of Pictionary.
Look, I'm trying to I'm trying to be more like futuristic and like grow with the times and whatnot and evolve as we're these are new times these days and fit into the new culture. So paper bags are done. I'm done paper bagging chicks like back in the day, Cyber. Now we're doing plastic for the earth, right? You know what I'm saying? For to save the earth, save the trees.
You're recycling.
That's right, Andres. Right? Greta Thunberg is the one that actually advised me on this.
Okay. I'm just traumatized now.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. She was like, Jeff, no more paper bagging.
Andres is traumatized, Jeff. You finally got there. You finally got it.
I never see I'm the guy in Happy Madison, the movie, where I'm like,
now you're Happy Madison? Holy fuck. Well, you're a time travel, so.
Oh yeah, well, I'm the announcer. When we're towards the end of the movie, the TV presenter.
What announcer? What the fuck? Do you mean the narrator?
Yeah, in the ending of the movie where Happy Madison has to fight his cousin, whatever, and the guy was so stupefied because of his stupid question. That's me, that person, hearing you, seeing your picture, and it's like,
Cyber, I think he's talking about the version, the 2043 version of the film.
oh my god, never mind. I'm just listening.
I don't even know what movie he's talking about.
Yeah, it's a different. They changed the film. They redid it in 2043. They did you're right, and they got really bad.
He's saying Happy Madison, which is the production company of Adam Sandler.
Listen,
and he did Billy Madison and Happy Gilmore.
In 2042, when you try to redo movies and whatnot again and whatnot, it's really bad, bro. You think it's bad now? It's really bad then.
So I guess in 2099 they combined Happy Gilmore and Billy Madison.
That was before John Paul became president. That was when Wanda what do you call it? That was when goddamn Miss Cleo was president, right? Yes. Right? And Old Dirty Bastard was vice president.
Gotcha.
That was a hell of administration, bro.
Sounds like it.
They had crackhead Whitney Houston, right? Heading up the economics aspect of things.
Oh, was Bobby Brown a help? Did she help?
Bobby Brown was the head of the commerce group, right? For for helping out abused women.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
he was a leader.
I thought maybe he became a part of Planned Parenthood, but I could be wrong.
It's possible.
Anyways, folks, back to the movie. So the conclusion of this film, after our little Pictionary slew. By chance, sir, did you find a trailer for this film before I go on?
I'll get it right now.
To give kind of people a little idea of what we're talking about here. But basically, like I said here, basically the last portion of this film, like I said, starts off basically Truman starting his day out again, like everything is copacetic, normal, nothing's wrong. He seems to be back to normal after having that conversation with his friend. And basically, he goes to work, is having a good time, seems to be happy with everyone, stuff like that. And basically, then it kind of cuts to uh, to the room with the people in it, the showrunners, Paul Giamatti and the other gentleman, which I don't know what that gentleman's name is, but they are, basically watching him in the basement, and supposedly he's sleeping, and we find out that this is the episode where they have Laura Linney's character say that she's leaving him, gonna divorce him. And we kind of get that introduction to that new co-worker who's supposed to be the new love interest that Peter Krause introduces him to while he's at the office that day. And, of course, Ed Harris comes in and is, what's going on and everything. And they're telling him and he starts kind of like inspecting things, and he's like, centralize the audio. And he centralized the audio and it sounds normal. So then he's like, let's go frame by frame a little bit here. And he's like going frame by frame and everything. And basically they end up seeing something. He sees something shift over in the right-hand corner. It's like, enhance that area. And you look and there's a hand. And basically they end up finding out, they have his best friend go over to the house and to get him up, and they end up, when he gets there and he goes down, he finds that he's not there. It's a fake dummy, and it's a snore machine going on. And so they start searching for Truman, and basically they keep searching. Oh,
I apologize. You're good. Go ahead. Finish up. Then I'll play it.
All right. And and so we basically they keep searching for him and stuff like that, and they're looking all the different places, can't find him. And at this point, Ed Harris is like kind of like thinking of where he could go, and he's like, turn on the sunrise so that we can see what's going on. And he's like, okay, so we try to find him. And he's like, nobody has an eye on the ocean, so they start to use the cameras on the ocean. They find that he is in a sailboat heading towards out into sea. And so while he's out there, he notices, he's like, let's use the weather machines to scare him so he comes back. And so they basically start to do the things like that, and it starts rocking the boat and causing him to get all wet and stuff and make the boat hard to steer and all this kind of stuff. And basically, end up almost drowning him. Oh, we lost Jeff. And, basically drowning and almost kill him, and we see him underwater. We see him like trying to stay on the boat. He gets knocked out of the boat at one point and swims back to the boat. Eventually, after they stop, Ed Harris decides to go all out with the storm and almost kill him. He stops it, and it comes back, and the boat rights up, and he's like on the side of the boat, attached to the thing. And they're not sure if he's dead or not. But then he like kind of coughs, and he's like, okay. And he gets out and he pulls the sail back up to keep heading. And so as he keeps heading, all of a sudden the boat hits something, and he's run right into the wall of the dome that they built to make this fake world. And so he goes over to it and he touches it, and he's like, what is this? And he notices that there's like a ledge, and he gets on the ledge and starts walking it. And all of a sudden he notices there's stairs to go up to somewhere, and he follows the stairs up, and there's a door that says exit on it. And before he could do that, Ed Harris pops over the PA system and says, "Hey, Truman," and basically, tells Truman that he's a part of a reality show, that he's been a part of this reality show since he was born, and that he is the star. And he basically gives him kind of like this whole kind of prelude to why he shouldn't go through that door and all this other stuff. And Truman basically, after Ed Harris is done talking, he's turned towards the door, and he turns around and he goes, "Now, if I don't see you again, hello, have a good day, goodbye, and good night," and walks to the door. And then it goes back to Ed Harris, his face of awe, like, I can't believe he just walked through that door, and the movie ends. All right, so, Sir Jeff, did you find the trailer, sir?
I got it. Let's rock it.
All right, so, folks, let's check out this trailer real quick before we get back to the question.
Comments are still headed.
What else is on?
Yeah, let's see what else is.
Coming to you now from the largest studio ever constructed, it's the Truman Show!
Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
What if? No scripts, no cue cards.
Morning, Spencer. How's it going?
What if you were watched every moment of your life?
How many cameras you got there in that town?
5,000.
I believe Truman is the first child to have been legally adopted by a corporation.
That's correct.
Brilliant.
What if everyone you knew was pretending?
Hi, honey. Look what I got at the checkout. Dishwasher safe.
That's amazing.
What if your world was make-believe?
Cue the sign. While the world he inhabits is counterfeit.
I'm not allowed to talk to you.
That's how I look. Not your type. There's nothing fake about Truman himself.
What if you didn't know it? Until now.
A lot of strange things have been happening. Stand by ring cam.
Is he looking at us?
Does he think he knows? I think I'm mixed up in something. Something big. We accept the reality with which we're presented.
Everybody's pretending, Truman. Get out of here. Come and find me. Truman? Truman! Truman!
Anything happen?
No.
You may find yourself in another part of the world.
It's like the whole world revolves around me. Everybody seems to be in on it. I'm going away for a while.
You may tell yourself, this is not my beautiful wife. You may ask yourself, how did I get here?
I'm not in on it, Truman, because the last thing that I would ever do is lie to you.
Fade up music. That's our hero shot. He's gone.
Okay? Yes! Want to do it again? No!
Find him. Truman, where are you going?
You can do it.
How do we stop him? Give me some lightning.
Is that the best you can do?
Cut transmission.
I like your pen. I was wondering that myself.
Jim Carrey. The Truman Show. Watch what happens.
What a shitty trailer. Holy fuck. No wonder I didn't watch that shit. Now I know why. Holy fuck.
Very small, short trailer there for you folks.
That'd be the kind of trailer that Andres would direct. Cyber.
Oh, there you go.
He'd time cop that bitch out like that.
Probably, yeah. So there you go, folks. There's the trailer of the movie that came out in 1998. As you can see, the trailer pretty much showed a lot of the film, actually, if you think about it. And it was kind of gave you insight into kind of what was going on with this film. So they really didn't, they didn't really hold anything back from it, because they mentioned, he's like, Ed Harris, as Kristoff says, "Where are you going, Truman?" And kind of like he's running away, and you get kind of the freak out sequences and stuff like that. So, I mean, they pretty much give you quite a bit in that trailer. So I was really surprised they showed that much. But I mean, there really was no, nothing to really hide from the Truman Show. It's about a guy stuck in reality TV, but yeah, so great trailer. Or decent trailer. It's not the greatest, not the horriblest, but definitely was okay. But yes, Natasha McLoney was fantastic in this film, and her character of Sylvia was the real love interest of the film that Truman truly was actually in love with, attracted to, and I remember Natasha was very popular through this time frame, mid 90s through the early 2000s. She was pretty much in everything. She was in a whole bunch of things. So she was definitely a great asset to this movie. That was fun, and I enjoyed her whole character as well. You said you had something you'd like to say about her or mention about her, Jeff.
Well, you already pretty much killed it right there, Cyber. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, all I can really do is add context now, right? In terms of the fact that you mentioned her being really hot at that point in the 90s, which she was. That's why like I highlighted it in the private chat, right? Plus, we have a private chat on the show where we can talk and whatnot and everything. If y'all haven't wondered, I don't know why it never occurred to me, guys, but this is, if you knew me personally like Andres and Cyber do, you get that, like with me, it would never shock you that after 2 years, it just occurred to me that I should actually say, hey, we in the private chat, we talk shit and like talk to each other and whatnot. So when you see each other laughing sometimes or pointing at each other or whatnot or whatever, or motioning, or that's us like fucking with each other or whatnot, everything. It's not to you, right? Like we're just fucking with each other or whatever and whatnot, or like making a point, or right, like giving somebody props if they say something dope or whatever, whatnot, right? Or they make a point that like we didn't make in our contribution around the panel or whatever, whatnot, that we forgot or something, right? Or that we're about to talk about, and they dig into it, whatnot, right? You're like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, damn, I was going to say that. But no, she was really hot at that point. She, she was in Surviving Picasso with Anthony Hopkins in 96, right? She did The Devil's Own with Brad Pitt in 97, which is where I know her from. That's what, in my head, now that I connect it, that's where my image in the head is of her. It's her in that movie. That's a really good movie, The Devil's Own. I love that movie back in the day. Harrison Ford was in that too, right?
Yep.
Right? He was, that was a really good film. Good 90s film, very gritty. That's what you got from 90s films back then. You got grit still in them, right? And there was authenticity in them. But no, she was in a really she was in Ronin with Robert De Niro. She played De Niro's love interest, right? You know what I'm saying, right? I mean, basically in every movie, and same thing with Brad Pitt in Devil's Own. She's always like the chick. She's always like the girlfriend or the chick that's being pursued or whatever, whatnot, right? Cyber, isn't that sort of always her character?
Pretty much, yeah. She always plays like the either a fling or the side chick or the love interest.
Yeah.
Pretty much that's her. Yeah, what she played, because she was considered like a huge sex symbol at the time.
Well, it's always just some kind of relationship of some kind with the main actor, right? Like whatever it is, whatever word or label you want to use. Andres, all we're talking about is that when you were out real quick, time traveling or whatever and all that, to go see Angela Bassett real quick or whatever. I guess get a BJ, and you finished already. Good job, brother. Congratulations. Anyways, you gotta work on your stamina though. But no, we were talking about the girl that plays Sylvia, right? She was really hot back then. Remember, she was in a lot of good films. And I thought she actually, out of all the secondary characters, it had nothing to do with her screen time. Cyber, I thought that she actually was the best secondary character, like the most authentic one out of all the other ones. I thought she was better than Laura Linney. And if you want me to opine on like my thoughts on the end of the film as well,
go ahead. Yes, yeah. What were your thoughts on the end of the film, and kind of just like your overall thoughts, kind of even leading up to the finale of the film? Like, how do you feel it connects to how it ends? Do you think it connects very well? Did you understand it, or was this also a point where you're like, you don't get it?
I want to go back and just mention that it's funny as shit. The one time I did laughter in the film was when Truman sees that his dad, and he's a homeless dude, like an actor playing a homeless person. That was absolutely hilarious. Like, why they thought that was like not like stupid as fuck, I don't get. Right? Like, why would you hire the actor that played some dude's father, where the whole fucking shit is based off of him being born on camera and shit? His own goddamn father dies with him, right? And he thinks he's responsible. So you actually bring him in as an extra to play a homeless person and give that opportunity and whatnot, that chance that fucking Truman might bump into him and be like, Dad, that can like fuck somebody up, man. You know what I'm saying? Cyber, imagine if in real life you thought your dad was dead and you were responsible. You didn't see him for 20 years or whatever. And all of a sudden he was some homeless dude on the side of the street. You'd fucking lose it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, seriously, you'd flip your shit. Seriously. So I'm like, fuck, man. It's just, I just don't, Jim Carrey is the only thing that makes it entertaining for me, the movie and like the final part. The third segment of the film is the best part of the film for me. Because it's probably the most entertaining, right? There's more activity, right? And you see the interaction between Ed Harris's character and Truman. I like Ed Harris. I'm going to have to write down Life of David Gale on the list for next year because that'd be a good one to review. But also something with Ed Harris in it too. He's a great actor. But honestly, I thought that. Let me be clear. I thought Laura Linney serviced her role well, all the way to the end, right? And they severed her from things at a good time and just let him on his own. I've never really seen any films where they've done something like this concept where there's a wife or a girlfriend involved and whatnot that's fake, right? Think Total Recall with Sharon Stone, where it's this long term and like they're in the movie this long. You know what I mean? Whatnot, right? Or the husband or the boyfriend is that in the movie that long. Usually it's like, a quick thing and then it's over. So that's probably tough to pull off and act. I thought the writing could have been better. I did. I thought the writing could have been better. And I think the writing caused some of the secondary characters to not be as effective with Truman, with Jim Carrey on screen, to where in all the way into the third act, there just wasn't enough real human connection with the relationships between the secondary characters, the best friend, the wife, whatever. You know what I'm saying with that? And of course, we don't see the conquest, right, in person, but like from a snippet and then at the end. So like, or not even at the end, right? So like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, she's not even really a part of like with him. So all the characters that he's like with on screen are ones where they're fake. That's the concept. But at that point, there's not like a really it's like his conversation with the best friend that is supposed to reel him back in and get him in control. To me, it did not come off authentically. Like the best friend came through as an actor to sell that shit to Truman in a way that would actually stop him from whatever shit he was trying to do, go wherever he's trying to go, whatever and whatnot. I didn't think that it came off or was conveyed in a way where you saw a dynamic between him and his wife, these secondary characters, that was sensitive enough and like emotional enough in display for you to connect enough to where you could put yourself more in the shoes of Truman, right? If that makes sense. That's all. I think that hurt the film. And even when he's in the boat, right? I get it. I get the symbolism of it and whatnot. I get it, all of it. I do. I get the message. I get the connectivity from the opening to the film, whatnot, all that, right? I get it from the flashback. I get all of it. I get the symbolism of it, but it doesn't do anything for me. It's whatever, right? It's okay. He's in a boat, right? Like he's not fighting fucking Moby Dick, bitch, right? Like he's just like some little weak ass bitch in a boat. They can't like, or like, row and like get where he's going and whatnot because he's never really done shit, So it just kind of got soft at that point, too controlled, right? Then Harris character can just turn the weather on and shit and whatnot and the wind on and fucking, I guess it was supposed to be poignant that he was willing to let him die. But again, even in some kind of like other dimensional, multiverse dimension America, that would not be tolerated. You know what I'm saying? Like people would stand up and at work and be like, nah, I'm not doing that. Fuck that. I'm not killing this dude that I've been fucking working on this show for 30 years and whatnot and everything right now and like letting him die in this boat just because he wants to go to fucking, where does he want to go? What is his like ultimate destination? Tahiti. Why the fuck would you want to go to Tahiti, man? Like where did that come from? Like, what is the whole thing with that supposed to be what he says that like it's the farthest place you can go or some shit? Remember when he says that shit?
Yeah. Well, actually, it's actually more important. That's the location that the Sylvia's like father told Truman,
that's right. The fake father told him that we're going to Fiji. Yeah, see, again, Andre, that just enforced my whole point. That's so stupid. That whole context is so stupid, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's got these magazines and shit and whatnot. He's ripping out ads and shit to jack to, right? Which is really sad, bro. It's sad to be 30 years old and married, bro, and having to jack off to, like, pictures of chicks that aren't even nude for magazines. That's rough, dude. Seriously, bro.
I don't know where you're getting that he was masturbating from those magazines. He was getting those magazines.
Doing that shit, bro.
He was getting those magazines to pull out the pictures of the chicks to make the collage to find that girl he saw in the flashbacks.
Whatever. That's whatever, dude. That was a subterfuge.
Okay, sir. Thank you for that eloquent
Listen,
trajectory.
He's a virgin. But you know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, I despise that.
Where did it say he was a virgin?
When Ed Harris' character flat out said, like, something at the end about how eventually we are going to have actual consummation or whatever, whatnot. Like,
he was talking about having a live birth on the TV show.
Oh, I thought he was talking about fucking.
Well, that happens in order to do that, sir.
That's why I figured at that point there she ain't giving him no pussy.
No. They were married. They were intimate.
Okay,
there was nothing to say he was a virgin.
All right. So Lauren Linney's character was serving it up. Okay.
Yes. I mean, you already know that from Life of David Gale. So I don't know why you think no.
She was probably giving her best to Chad and Tyrone, but you know what I'm saying? But she saved those left for fucking Truman. Sorry, folks. I couldn't help myself on that one.
You couldn't help himself, folks.
No, I could not. Tyrone got the best of her, maybe. She saved the good head for him. Truman only got the fucking the C+ head. But honestly, bottom line, great concept. The conversation between Ed Harris's character and Truman was great. That was good. But that's just because I think Ed Harris is a good actor. And so the back and forth between them and whatnot was authentic and whatnot and came off in a way that was entertaining to me, right? The concept of that conversation itself contextually seemed deep to me and whatnot and everything, right? Like thinking about what that would hypothetically be like to have that dialogue in real life for people or whatever and whatnot. I connected with that. I did. I had, Cyber, to end things up. During the film, there were moments where I very heavily connected on a human level where I thought to myself in real life, not with me, but in real life, if this happened, right, how would this work? Like, what would this be like? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is intense. And that's pretty much it. I mean, the ending is okay. I can't remember. Did I miss something? Did he end up with the chick?
No.
He didn't. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, the ending would have been better if he banged that chick. Right? Seriously. If you would have plowed that chick real quick, I would have been like, yeah, baby. Okay, USA.
Okay, USA.
Yeah.
No, because after he talks to Ed Harris, he goes to the door, and that's how the movie ends.
No, that's cool, but it would have been great if he would have went out in the door into like a bedroom with her and hit that shit.
There you go.
Or to the massage parlor.
There you go, Fever. That's your take from Mr. True Knowledge there, right there. True Knowledge.
Or time pops up on the other side of the door.
Oh, God. All right, thank you, sir. Andres, your thoughts on the end of the film, sir?
It's good to be on the panel, baby. I love it.
Yeah. Oh, God. More traumatized this tonight. Anyway, well, I could do that to you again.
Mine's more powerful.
You know what's more powerful? Fuck you. Anyway, sorry, folks. We're just fooling around now. Just come on, professional. Come on, we should be professional critics here. Anyway, the ending, the third act of this film is terrific. It's one of the best in cinematic history. and all that, which
What?
is awesome. Oh yeah, it's really great. I mean,
cinematic history. You sound like that douchebag in the fucking comment section with the warning. Tell me that the warning is the best band ever and all this shit.
oh my god, oh, I don't like those people. Anyway, no. I mean, this is a great ending. I mean, it's very like melancholy and very sad for him, because he's trying to get out. But I want to bring up Ed. Before we get to the ending, I want to bring up Ed. Ed.
You just called that. You called Ed Helms, didn't you?
Yes, Ed Harris.
You were gonna call Ed Helms, weren't you?
This is all your fault, Jeff.
Fucking time cop, man.
Yeah, time cop, time lord.
That's why you're
lord
not
of
time.
time. See, if you keep calling me time cop, I'm gonna lose my mind. And
When you make gaps like that, you're never gonna fucking evolve to time lord level.
Oh my god, no. I already evolved. It's just you don't see it.
Me and
Anyway.
Tyler are here to make sure that you properly evolve into time lord status, right? And like the proper time traveling John Claude Van Damme is the president way.
Okay, all right, that's fine.
Got your back.
That's thank you. Anyway, I thought that Ed Harris' character Christoph is a very fascinating character. I really like his character. This is when we're talking about the argument. We got this one side where they don't like what's going on with Truman, and then you got this other side with Christoph. He has this like very like narrow point of view of Truman brings like happiness and joy and enjoyment to 1,000 people in television, and that's such a like very interesting psychological and science fiction idea that someone's going to use this one person to entertain people in this like sub-edited reality I mentioned in the private chat. And so I think he's a very fascinating character, and like he's both he views himself as like the god / father to Truman, which is very like very critical allegories, right? And I think Ed Harris is a really great actor. I was checking my notes and trivia that Dennis Hopper, Dennis
Dennis Hopper was originally supposed to play Ed Harris's character.
Yeah, and I actually very happy that Ed played this character because he brings this very like very strict kind of persona, but like he brings some warmth and like very like Walt Disney like kind of feel weirdly, for a character like this, that's like a executive producer for a television show. I thought he's really great, and him talking to Jim is a really great scene, which we'll get into. But yeah, I think he's a great character that really adds the meta commentary on reality, subreddit reality, and television in general in this very unique way. But yeah, I love the build up to where was Truman, when the camera people, played by Paul Giamatti, are just like staring at screens, and then of course Ed's character Christoph sees it and is like, where is Truman? And like the build up gets to it, and like he's very kind of scared because at this point like he's just realizing the reality is breaking down like very slowly, and it doesn't mean he stopped thinking about escaping the town, so it's really cool when the friend gets up to like that dog hole, and then he say like he's not there, and then of course Christoph gets very panicky and this ends the transmission was crazy, especially the response of the people that's watching the TV show. They were like, oh my god, the show is not airing yet. It's crazy. Yeah, oh my god, what is Christoph doing? He's killing his star. Like, I mean, I get what you say, Jeff, but I mean, like, I think this movie does a really good job of conveying that, it's very science fiction, so they have the technology to do it. I mean, they're in a big dome, so they're able to like control the weather probably. So I don't think it was go anyway. Um, anyway, was like out of like it was out of the film. It was very possible, and they didn't took it too far, which is good. But yeah, and this is where I really fell in love with the music because it just hits you right there when the boat hits to that wall. It's like very tragic because he's just trying to get out of that dome, and then when he sees the steps, as Sabers mentioned, it's like, oh my god, he's there, and then of course Kristoff is like stop him, and he's telling him how the real world is like awful, and like it's not the perfect world that he created for Truman. So he this guy is literally a god. Like he thinks he's a god. He created this utopia in this show, which is kind of stupid, like honing for this person for this like very
real. How is the real world not better than that?
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing I like with the movie.
That makes no sense, dude.
Exactly. And so you think that Truman believes that, like he's having a moment, but then I was so happy when he turned around and say his famous quote for the show, "Good night and to all," like was so like heart punching because he's going out there. He doesn't care. Like he really wanted to get out of there, and see the world for real. So that was such a great ending, one of the most satisfying endings ever. And the Sylvia is going to meet Truman. She was getting out of her house, so I think that I think the ending does like give you hints that they're gonna be together now after he exits. So that's really neat. Yeah, very funny, Jeff. Fire chat.
Y'all tell anybody I kill you! Peanut butter and crapsney.
He kicked his habit back in the joint. Now he's back on points. He's finally home. He's Tyrone.
Yo, Truman got off the island and shit and whatnot and everything, and all he ended up doing was he didn't even get very far. He didn't even end up making it to meet that Sylvia chick. He ended up at the first crack house where Tyrone Biggins was at and shit and whatnot, and ended up becoming a crackhead and never got anywhere.
Well, folks, don't listen to Jeff. That's not the true ending. The true ending is that Truman is out. He's going to experience the real world as he should be, and he's a free man. So that's it. And that's my all of the ending of The Truman Show. Great film. Definitely highly recommended. It's top 5 Jim Carrey films. It's not my favorite. My favorite is still Eternal Sunshine of Spotless Mind. But The Truman Show is high there in Jim Carrey's film. True.
Excellent. Thank you, sir. Very, very, very true. Yes, Jeffrey.
Just want to mention, in real life, I would never bang some other dude's wife or whatnot, everything. That's just not right. But since this reality is not real or whatnot, everything, it's whatever. I would actually bang Truman's wife. I would, and I would enjoy it too.
Good to know, Jeff. Good to know, sir.
I would.
All right. So let's get ratings, folks. Starting with you, Andre. What would you give this, sir?
A 10 out of 10. It's a great film. It's one of the best. Yes, a 10 out of 10.
Are you on acid tonight?
No. I mean, I'm drinking water. I'm being healthy.
Jesus Christ. Did you get laid today?
I mean, with antacid? Yes, I did. So I'm having a good day. Anyway, yeah, I think it's a 10 out of 10. I mean, look, it's not my favorite Jim Carrey film. I think it's really, it's definitely top 5 Jim Carrey film in his filmography. It's one of those rare films you don't see where it combines all genres, science fiction, drama, and comedy, and it's very impressive that the director Peter did it so well. I really enjoyed that. I mean, I love Jim Carrey. I think this is this is the performance of a lifetime, and he delivers that so well. And the pacing, I didn't bring up, but the pacing is so good. This film, it's only like an hour, or I don't know how many minutes, but like it's just under an hour, and it just advanced so much of the social commentary and character development. So good, but simultaneously entertain me as well, which is impressive. So I really like it. I think it's a 10 out of 10. So I'm wondering what you guys are rating this. I know that Cyber will be higher, and then I know Jeff. This is your first time.
How is Cyber going to be higher? 10 is the highest, bitch. This is not the year 2066. We do 1 to 10. Not
in my 10th dimension, I should give it a 16 out of 10. So
okay, I'm sorry, I forgot. That's right. It's hard to keep up with you, Andres, with your time traveling and shit.
And vampire.
There you go, Cyber. Andres already told you that you're giving the movie a fucking above a 10.
Oh, okay. Well, I will give it a 10 because I do enjoy this film, and you know, I won't give it higher than a 10. But yeah, definitely give it a 10 because I'm a Jim Carrey fan. I enjoy Jim Carrey, and this movie entertains me. Yeah, it has a lot of kind of exposition that's kind of slow, but at the same time, it doesn't bore me. So I find it entertaining. So I give it a 10 out of 10. What do you give it, Jeff?
Fuck, I was gonna use my stupid card fucking thing for my rating and whatnot, but I wasn't fast enough, motherfucker. Goddamn hands, son of a bitch. Anyways, I'll give it I'm sorry, but I'm gonna give it a fucking 4. That movie was not that good. Like, it was not. I've seen of all the Jim Carrey vehicles I've seen him where he's tried to do serious roles. This is the worst one I've seen him do. That's like the least fucking entertaining and like shows the least of his actual acting ability, right? Like in a non-full-on comedic, like I'm dumb as fuck way, right? Because his comedy is so slapstick and so self-deprecating and like so out there that like and so unique that like when he does his comedy movies and whatnot or did, it's Jim Carrey, right? It's his comedy. He owns it, but it's fucking like outlandish. And like really, you know, like beat myself up type shit. When he does serious roles, I'm sorry, but like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind that we're gonna do next week, which I'm really stoked to do. I really am. I can't wait to moderate that. It's gonna be fun. I'm actually like, I'm not bullshitting you. I'm stoked, which I rarely get like really pumped or whatever, whatnot but I'm pumped for like that movie. I haven't watched it in probably a good. I like to always mention this. I've never seen the Truman Show at all. And I have not seen the Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind since probably when did it come out, y'all?
2004.
I that year or the year before, the year after. I mean, I saw it then a couple times, and that was it. But I'll give it a 4. I don't think it's that good. Can't wait to do Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. I want to wipe out this Truman Show. I'm never watching it again. That's it. I can't even I'm not even going to watch it again just to like wank it to like Laura Linney.
There you go, folks. So a 10, and a 4. Woohoo!
There you go.
Right, folks. So that is the Truman Show. As always, we love our fans here at the Great MCU Leading Edge. Thank you for anybody that watches us live or watches us afterwards. You guys are great. So we will do our plugs and then get out of here, folks. And I'll lead it over to you, Sir Jeff.
I've got you, buddy. Give me 1 second. I was preoccupied because I'm so into like the content and what we're doing and whatnot, everything, and I'm not like all over the place. You know what I'm saying? And thinking about that stuff and whatnot. I'm kind of focused on the show. So that was my bad. I'm usually more preemptive. I've got our folks. I've got our Cyberneticshark before Andres's comes out. I've got our Cyberneticshark 1,000 subscriber push video coming out tomorrow, which will be, of course, Saturday the 2nd, 12/2. So I'm not like we're not like hoping or dying, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, whatnot, or guaranteeing 1,000 subs by the end of the month, but like, you know, it's on. So like the video will be out, whatnot, and everything, and then I'll try to get yours done too, Andres. But I just want to mention really quick and whatnot and everything that we're heading into December. Oh, fuck, I'm tripping, man. I'm sorry about that. That was pretty stupid. We're in December, obviously. There you go, Jeff. Fucking see, Andres, you and your time cop bullshit, man. You got me all confused about what time it is and what year it is and all that. But no, folks, we're almost at the end of the year, and so we just want to I just want to put it out there that we all really appreciate everybody out there and whatnot that follows our content. I really want to, put it out there that I really appreciate Andre's the pop culture guy. I really appreciate Cyberneticshark. We appreciate everybody that comes on the show, right? And we're very humbled and very appreciative for all the support we get. And we're happy to earn our stats here at the MCU'S Bleeding Edge and whatnot, everything. Like, you know what I'm saying? We're not going to sit here and chill, right? You ever see Cyber jump off shows and whatnot and spend 3 minutes asking you to sub and all that shit? We don't play like that. We'll earn our stats over here. But at the same time, though, like, we want to compete with bigger YouTubers and whatnot. And like, unfortunately, part of that game is that we've got to have the stats to be able to be in their level, in their league and whatnot to fuck with them. So we need you to go out in there and subscribe. We do. And I'd like to see more of you that actually view the videos and the shows. So just please, if you like what we do, please hit subscribe. Like, seriously, it helps us a lot. Like, it's not from a beneficial monetary standpoint or whatever, more from like a perspective, just us being able to compete, right? And then we'll try to make some money off your ass. But in the meantime, let me go ahead and pull up Cyberneticshark first, my friend, who I'm going to Rockville 2024 with. Woohoo! Talk about something. Oh, you know what? I hit the wrong button. Sorry about that, Cyber. Talk about something to be excited about. Holy fuck, man. 4-day fucking sick-ass fucking rock and metal festival. Can't wait.
All right, folks, how we doing out there? Cyberneticshark here. If you enjoy me as a moderator or on the panel, you can definitely check out my solo content out there. You should definitely check that out. So as you see there, my most recent review is a ranking video of the 4 expendable films. Just dropped that today at noon. So if you haven't seen it, go check it out. Also dropped a couple of shorts today as well, too. Like I said, I'll be having more content coming out soon for you guys. We're working on it and stuff like that. Just been busy. And but yeah, at 712 still trying to get up there. So even if I got to 800 or 900 by the end of the year, would be great. So if you haven't subscribed, definitely do that. So because I have content coming out pretty regularly for you guys. And I just want to thank all the new followers and all the people that watch. You guys are rocking it. And I've had a lot of fun just putting up these reviews and stuff for you guys because you guys are rocking it. And yeah, definitely check out my content and keep the Bleeding Edge alive. Keep Mr. Andreas alive. And we're appreciating you guys. You guys are rocking it.
Keep my penis alive too, please. Seriously.
That too.
That bitch is withering. No, but Cyber, listen, man. Since we're gonna be, Andres, like I told you, we're gonna be doing his anniversary shit and whatnot, and everything, and celebrating this month of the MCU'S Bleeding Edge report at the end of the year. I was thinking you should talk about trying to put together something, at least you giving me your input. I'll put together some kind of collage, right? For like, our 40,000 subscriber special that I think we should do. Maybe, hoping that maybe we get close to it by the end of the year, or like maybe in January we'll hit it, right? And put some kind of collage that you and I both would like to see, right? You let me know what shows you want me to pull, the scenes out of and whatnot, or clips from the shows and whatnot and all that, right? Which guests and whatnot you want on, and I'll put something together and whatnot that we can play. That's like a long montage of scenes from our shows, right?
Yep.
During the special. We should do some more specials and whatnot. Everything. It's a good opportunity for us to live and actually ask for super likes and shit like that and whatnot. We like those.
Yep.
All right, Andre's the pop culture guy. I got your ass, brah.
Good.
What? Good that I got your ass? Come on now.
No.
I ain't down with that gay shit, bro.
Everyone. Just don't listen to Jeff. He's mucho dirty, crazy. Anyway, hello everyone. My name is Andreas Poco guy, saying it in Spanish. I hope Jeff knows the Spanish well. Anyway, this is Andreas Poco guy, channel percent.
A little bit, Andres. A little bit. Not good enough.
Yeah, 850 subscribers.
Not bad, sir.
Yeah, not bad. Thank you. So yeah, so I just recently put out a Addams Family movie tribute. Check that out. Soon you're gonna get a Nightmare Before Christmas 30th anniversary tribute, which is awesome. I'll probably put in a retrospective review on that film as well next week. More Doctor Who content and
Andres, isn't there a Doctor Who TV special or series coming out on Disney Plus?
Yeah, it's already there. I already saw the special.
Okay, maybe we should review it.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you if you're interested in Doctor Who. I love the show, and I definitely want to view the Doctor Who in the Monday report. So
Yeah, it seems interesting. Anyways, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
yeah, that's it. And then the live stream this week.
Holy shit! Look at that, Cyber. Andre's got 301 fucking views on our live to end the first Adams Family. You believe that shit? His 5th live, he got that many views.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, because he's always on our stuff, so that's why.
I know that.
Yeah,
Still, though, he's still like, it's still good for him.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I know, but I'm very hopefully we be consistent in the next live streams. Anyway, we're not gonna have live.
Consistency is key.
Cyber, I'm very, just because I don't ever say the Andres, I don't hyper like mention it to him and whatnot, everything. I'm very aware of like the growth of his shit based off of me being a part of it and like us being a part of it. I know, right?
Yeah, and look, I want to thank everyone from the MCU Edge community for supporting me and Cyber. Please help us to reach our marks, very soon. Not Jeff's mark.
Support the small baby dick motherfuckers like me too.
Yes. Whatever he say. Whatever he say. So yes, but thank you. So this is gonna be an awesome December and Christmas time. So yes.
For real. I'm gonna send you a fucking lump of coal for Christmas, Andres. You fuck. Fuck you, bitch. What do you think about that, motherfucker?
Wow, you wanted to end this.
You think I was gonna let you get away with fucking saying fuck you to me earlier, not saying anything back? Fuck you, Andres. Got pussy.
You know what? Fuck you. You're small.
You ain't never gonna make a massive motherfucker. She'll reject your ass quick. She ain't gonna play with you. You gotta stop your game if you want to fuck with that Angela Bassett, bitch.
Fuck you.
She loves me. An Academy Award, man. Come on, those fucking those
Angela Bassett loves me. He doesn't love you.
Hey, those Academy Awards are very representative of your value and like what you got going on. What's always out.
Oh, really?
Right?
Okay.
Agree.
Well, guess what? Angela Bassett doesn't love you. She thinks you're weak. You're very small.
You're weak? Come on.
Oh yeah, she told me that. Oh,
baby
yeah.
penis does not mean weak. This means baby dick.
Yes, she say all that.
You can be right, Cyber. You don't have to be a weak ass dude just to have a baby dick. No. Your dick's just tiny. It's embarrassing, but like you can still kick ass.
Yep. Oh my god! I think we should.
It's hard to maintain any level of masculinity. Probably, I wouldn't know. I actually have a baby dick. It's just a joke, but
yeah.
Right.
I hope you understand that she doesn't love you.
I don't give a fuck.
Well, I mean, Dolph Lundgren doesn't like you.
Out of all the fucking back in the day, black actresses from back in the day, and everything, like she's like on the bottom of the list. I want to bang.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? I bang like Don. I bang crackhead Whitney Houston version and regular Whitney Houston version. Right first, I bang fucking what's her name? That's in Jackie Brown.
Pangier.
Pangrier. I bang her at any age. Right. I would definitely bang Aretha Franklin when she was young. She was fucking hot. Right. For reals. Aretha Franklin was smoking. And I could go on the list, bro. You know what I'm saying? Of Wakanda Queens, I would love to smash, but even like old school ones. But that'd be a long list. I'm sure Cyber has his own too. We love our Wakanda Queens, folks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're all about diversity here at the MC's Bleeding Edge. Anyways, folks, look, we love y'all. God bless you. This is Friday, December 1st. We have 1 month till Christmas, till the new year, 2024. We hope you have a great December. Please rock with us and whatnot. We got lots of good shows coming up. We're closing out the Infinity War saga with Ant-Man 2, Ant-Man and the Wasp. We've got the last parts of our review of Endgame going into the end of the year on Wednesdays. And then we've got Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind this Friday. WandaVision re-reviews. Andres and I are still killing it on the MC's Bleeding Edge Report on Mondays doing those, right? And we're back to doing some segmental pop culture news and, some fucking Hamas, Hezbollah, hardcore political shit now apparently we're doing too. Great. Can't wait for more of that. And then, of course, I'm still working on the OnlyFans. So, right? As soon as we can find White Vision's penis, we're doing it. It's full sales. There you go, folks. We'll see you later. Peace. Have a good one. Thank you, Cyberneticshark. Thank you, Andres.
Hey. I said, excuse me, you don't understand where I'm at. I was all around the world, on span, across the map. I've been laying low and now it's time to pop up, bitch, I'm back. Now I'm gonna run it